Welcome back to In Search of Tontonteac. Last week we explored the missions of Arizona. This week, let's connect the dots between the missions and the indigenous groups that shape this region. The mainstream narrative places Cibola, Tontonteac, and Granada in New Mexico, specifically near the Zuni pueblos. In 1722, a map by Guillaume de Lisle, Tabula Geographica Mexicae e Floridi, tells a more intriguing story. On this map, we see a region labeled Gran Tequayo, an area that wouldn't be formally explored for another 88 years. Directly beneath it is the phrase Apaches of Navajo, with forts extending westward along what appears to be the Little Colorado River. Below this river, a cluster of towns is marked, including a few familiar names: Les Moquis, Hopi, Zuni, Cibola, and Oraibi. The Hopi, or Les Moquis, are well documented in this region, especially after the Pueblo Revolt of 1680, which allowed them to maintain their territory. The placement, however, of the Zuni on this map is surprising, as the Zuni are traditionally associated with New Mexico. The Zuni are believed to descend from the Mogollon and Anasazi cultures, inhabiting the high deserts of New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado for over 2,000 years. Around 1300 CE, they migrated westward and established 6 villages: Halona, Hawiku, Kiakima, Matsaki, Kwakina, and Ketchipown, which became the Zuni-Cibola complex near modern-day Santa Fe, New Mexico. If the Zuni were once part of the Mogollon or Anasazi, it's plausible that they occupied areas further east before their westward migration. Yet, on de Lisle's map, Cibola is located near Hopi villages in northern Arizona, close to the Little Colorado River and the Grand Canyon. Oraibi or Oraibi is a Hopi village that we have seen in a few different maps. The Oraibi complex is closed to the public, but it looks like a very interesting place. You might remember Oraibi from earlier episodes. This was a map from 1777 known as the Miera map. We also saw it on the Ramirez map of 1768, as part of the cluster known as Hopi Pueblo. Oraibi seems to be on many maps from this time. It was obviously inhabited for quite some times. Notice how this cluster of towns or cities from the Isle map are on this map as well. But even more curious is this town off to the side, which on the Isle map suggested was Cibola. When the Spanish say Cibola and the 7 cities, is this what they are talking about? The Franciscan missionaries built a mission in Oraibi in 1629 by Jesuit missionaries. This mission operated until the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. Now the site is inaccessible. De Lisle's map shows remarkable accuracy for its time. The Gila River, Colorado River, labeled Tyson, and Casa Grande are all placed correctly. Even St. Francisco Xavier del Bac, the Tucson mission, is in its proper location. This suggests de Lisle's work was based on credible information rather than the speculative placement often attributed to early cartographers. Let's consider 2 intriguing locations on this map. Moatpic-oidag, located where the Gila and Colorado rivers meet. This name hints at Tohono O'odham roots. Oidag translates to garden, while Moatpic may reference a natural feature. Ariguri-oidag, found just across the Colorado River at present-day Yuma. Historically, Jesuits and Spanish missionaries often built on pre-existing indigenous settlements. With St. Dionysius located in this area, could this have been Tontonteac's true location? If de Lisle's map is accurate, it challenges both my earlier theory that Cibola was near Phoenix or Casa Grande and the mainstream assertion that Cibola and Tontonteac were exclusively in New Mexico. This map also includes Quivira, which is just north of Taos, which would corroborate the idea that Quivira was more in the plains than on the west coast. If I were to look directly north on a map today of Taos, it would be in the direction of Denver, which isn't exactly where the mainstream tends to place it. It also raises questions about how indigenous groups like the Zuni, Hopi, and Navajo interacted and migrated across these regions. This map depicting old and new names really is quite interesting that maybe these cities were here for quite some time and maybe we were just building on top of them. It reflects the transition from indigenous to European place names, often obscuring the vibrant cultures that preceded colonization. What do you think? Could the map's placement of Moatpic-oidag near the Gila and Colorado rivers be the key to uncovering its true location as Tontonteac? The indigenous peoples named Tohono O'odham and this city called Ariguriodak seem to place tricks on my mind. Could Tontonteac really be Tohono Dak? Let me know your thoughts and join me next week as we continue our journey in search of Tontonteac.